The film Get Out by Jordan Peele was released in 2017, where it mainly featured stars Daniel Kaluuya and Allison Williams. The story revolved around a young African American man named Chris Washington, who unravels an unsettling secret when he finally met the family of his white girlfriend, Rose Armitage. Rose's parent, Dean and Missy, is a neurosurgeon and a hypotherapist. It turned out that the entire family has plans of using Chris's body for brain transplant, like what they did to their black household workers due to racial envy. The psychological horror and thriller film stood out among the other movies due to the way how the stories developed from being safely delicate to tragic and dramatic. A lot of people are giving it positive reviews due to how the message and the film elements were executed well. It received various nominations at the 98th Academy Awards and won Best Original Screenplay the following year. Starting from the beginning of the film, there are already numerous signals that the film is going to portray a demented plot. The music Run Rabbit Run is played when a man kidnaps Andrew Hayward or Logan King. Originally, the mentioned music was created 1939 during the Second World War, where the lyrics mean that the rabbits must run due to the bomb drops happened before. It suddenly transitions to the opening credits where shots of trees are shown and a musical score was being played in the background. This music is composed of black musical influences and the voices which tone signifies a glint of hope. The whispers of phrases Sikili Kwa Wahenga directly translate to listen to your ancestors, which indicates something bad is coming and you should run. This aspect can also be reflected on the time Chris's friend, Rod Williams, is warning him to get away from the house of the Armitage.
I mean, I told you not to go in that house.
Listen to your own kind. These signals communicate that whoever the main character may be is headed towards a precariousness. It then suddenly cuts to the couple's apartment showing pictures of black and white, while Childish Gambino's Redbone is playing in the background. There was also a portrait shown there where there is a white dog restrained with a collar being held by a black person. This is a manifestation of Chris and Rose's life as partners. They are romantic towards each other, the contrasting of their race and how things go at the beginning, where Chris is in control of the relationship, is how the dog and the owner was portrayed in the photo. Next is a picture of a bird which signifies Chris's desire for freedom, and a grayscale photo on the wall where the subject's face is covered, symbolizing Rose's mask that will soon fall off in the movie.
I mean, it's Rod.
On the road to the house of the Armitage, a deer got hit by a car, leaving one of the side mirrors of the car broken. They stopped and checked it, only to see that it already had breathed its last breath. It flashed him back to the time when his mother died in a hit-and-run accident. Like them, they were not able to do anything to save the deer, just like how young Chris was with the unfortunate occurrence. For Chris, the deer symbolizes loss, victimhood, vulnerability, and the helplessness towards his mother and his fate. When they arrive at the house, Dean Armitage railed against deers.
I don't mean to get on my high horse, but I'm telling you, I do not like the deer. I'm sick of it. They're taking over. They're like rats. They're destroying the ecosystem. I see a dead deer on the side of the road. I think to myself, that's a start.
He uses almost genocidal language to describe his desire to get rid of the deer in the area. And later, when Chris is strapped to the chair in the basement, he sees a stuffed deer's head on the wall. For the Armitage family, deer are symbols of unwanted visitors to be hunted. There is a parallel between how Dean perceives deer and how he perceives black people. He feels entitled to hunt both of them, and then keep them as trophies of his dominance. Additionally, the deer in the room connotes Chris's similar situation of being captured for a purpose. Him on a transplant and the deer for collection. The deer being Chris's spirit animal is accurate to the personality of his character, because like the deer, he is the type to be loving, calm, and at peace not unless he got triggered by danger.
The place of Rose's parents started from being portrayed brightly of warm and muted colors to the end where all of the events happen during the night and dark, which signifies the development of the pretenders. Upon the couple's arrival at the house, the scenes where Chris met Rose's family was entirely on a wide-angle shot. It denotes that despite Chris's meeting with Rose's parents with all the greetings, hugs, and smiles, there seems to be no tight, intimate, and real connection, just like how far and loose the frame was shot. Moving on to the scene where Chris was hypnotized by Missy, the teacup and its soothing feeling sound was used.
We do use focal points sometimes to guide someone into a state of heightened suggestibility.
Like the natural healing properties of the tea, of course, it has the power to calm people down. The frames transition closer and closer to Missy and Chris, which signifies that Missy has successfully got into the man's head.
Sink into the floor.
Wait.
Sink.
At this point, Chris was falling slowly in the middle of blackness, while there's nothing but the view above of what his eyes are seeing. He's just floating and can seem to move his physical body.
Now you're in the sunken place.
This represents that Chris has now completely lost control of the situation, and he has already fallen to the traps of the Armitage family. Its metaphor can also be reflected in yesterday's and today's society for slavery, cultural appropriation, and the use of niceties to enforce social hierarchies. The sunken place is an expression of frustration for people like Chris who feel more marginalized by the system. That no matter how hard we scream, the system silences us.
Next in line are cameras. Chris is a well-known photographer and a respected one. He is popular for his black and white photography that directly communicates the everyday life of people. The camera serves as his extended mechanical eyes in observing his surroundings. In connection with the camera are the flash, photos, and eyes, which help connect these events together. The flash is used as a trigger to snap the victims out of hypnosis. We can also see this as waking up to the realities of the world while being blinded for a while,
Get out.
due to what the society wants us to think in the general aspect or even in races. The eye serves as a people's judgment and envy around Chris, that they are looking out for his every move. Moreover, how they, especially Jim, are attracted to the physical qualities he is born with.
I want your eye, man. I want those things you see through.
The photos, on the other hand, are also symbolism of Chris's discovery, not just with the secrets of the family, as well as the answers to his questions of who the two black servants are. Speaking of the servants, there are scenes where Georgina was seen to be fixing her wig in her room, and Walter never removed his hat during the entire show except the ending. We comprehend that they are hiding scars from the brain transplant given to them.
Oh, no. 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 No, 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 no.
When they finally cornered Chris, Rose, from having her hair down, was seen to put her hair up into a ponytail. This is the transition of her attitude and a reveal of her true intentions and nature. The mask finally fell off.
In the final scenes where the transplant is about to happen, Jordan Peele also placed details of symbolism where Chris is held captured. There were 4 columns surrounding him, which is a reflection of the members of the family, and one on the middle wall of the room was a dartboard, which means target. The placement of it was really directly above Chris, because he is the target that the family and Jim is aiming to get. The clothing of the characters played an important role in showing their personalities. Chris and Rod worn blue apparel during the movie. Blue in psychology means trust, loyalty, safe, and masculine, which mainly represents the both of them. Rose can be seen wearing blue to red and to white. This is a reflection of the image that she is portraying to the person that she interacted with in the film. At the beginning, she is wearing blue, because it is a parallel of how she wants Chris to see him, trustworthy and delicate. Then when they arrive at her parents' house, she wore red, which is her ability to use her sexual appeal, her powers as a woman to attract, and her affection to take advantage of her situation. As her name suggests, a rose can be attracted to the eyes, yet it has thorns too that can hurt those who dare to hold it, just like how Rose hurt Chris. At the end, Rose tries to reverse the situation playing the victim card when the police car arrived. Good thing inside it was Rod, who knows what's going on and trusts his best friend a lot. Because the way the scene was composed, where there is a black man caught on top of a white woman and dead bodies are on the ground, there will be an immediate thought that he might be accused of doing what he didn't do. which I think Jordan Peele intended to do in order to make the audience realize that up until now, there's still issues of racism going on even outside the film.
Get Out cleverly takes these tropes and uses them to a unique and thought-provoking endings to give real anxieties on the character's situation. It takes the genre of thriller to a whole new level, because the issue being tackled under this screenplay can somewhat still be happening on the modern days. This also talks about the lives of innocent people being threatened just because of their race. The intricacy of how the director made the film to be, with all the deep analysis, references, undeniably powerful emotional triggers, aspects, and effects, Get Out works perfectly well as a wildly entertaining scarefest. That's why we're gonna give it 9 over 10 rating.
They are not racist.
Right.
I would have told